Okay, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. It's 3:01, and we got a quorum, and everybody has their T-shirts. That's the most important thing. I want to take roll, but first I just want to congratulate Roxana Perner on her new role and Linda Beamer in her new role on the board. And as clerk of the board, would you please take roll and read the meeting statement?
Patrick Kennedy. Here. Larry Carr. Here. Phil Cerna.
Here.
Jeff Slowey. Here. Stephanie Wynn. Here. Jay Chenier.
Here.
Darren Soon.
Here.
Sue Frost.
Here.
Saul Hernandez. Angelique Ashby. Here. Don Natoli. Eric Guerra. Garrett Gatewood.
Here.
Alan Warren. Sean Farmer.
Here.
This meeting of the Sacramento Public Library Authority is being videotaped in its entirety, and it will be cablecast without interruption on Metro Cable 14, the Government Affairs channel on the Compass Consolidated Communications and AT&T Uverse cable systems, and will be webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Today's meeting is being shown live and will be repeated at 4 p.m. on Saturday, July 27th, and at 9 a.m. on Wednesday, July 31st on Channel 14. This meeting is closed captioned. A DVD copy will be available for checkout from any library branch no later than 2 weeks following today's meeting. A public copy of the full agenda, including reports, is available for viewing at the back table and is available on the library website at www.saclibrary.org. Members of the audience wishing to address the board should complete a speaker identification form located at the back table and give it to the clerk. Please speak into the microphone and when addressing the board, and state your name for the record. Comments are limited to 3 minutes so that everyone may be heard. In consideration of others, please silence your cell phone at this time.
Okay, thank you very much. Director Farmer, would you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you. And please note, we have Director Natoli joining us as well. Item 2.0, if there's any members of the public like to speak on matters not on the agenda, I don't have any speaker cards in front of me. So I'm going to move on to Section 3, presentations. 3.1, I Street Press Annual Report. Mr. Ward, hi.
Good afternoon. My name is Jerry Ward. I am a librarian with Sacramento Public Library, and it's with great pleasure that I present to you the 2018-2019 annual report for the I Street Press. There have been significant changes in the last year. I don't want to take a lot of time, but I do think that you should hear what these changes are. But first, a little bit of history. In 2011, our director was back in New York, and she was at a bookstore, and she saw a machine called an espresso book machine. I believe her exact words were, "I want one." Coming back to Sacramento, she was contacted by the California State Librarian, who told her they had a whole bunch of money they needed to get rid of real fast. And was there anything that she wanted? Well, having just seen an espresso book machine, she said, yes, there is. She wrote a grant, and the Sacramento Public Library purchased an espresso book machine. The idea behind the espresso book machine is that it will print and bind a book in 5 minutes. That's not writing it, that's printing it and binding it. The hardest part, of course, is actually writing the book. I teach people how not to write books, but how to make them ready so that they can print and bind those books. The espresso book machine lasted for 7 years. This time last year I was here, I thought maybe we would have it for another year, but it decided to die. We had printed 28,000 books on that machine in 7 years. We had over 450 titles. We had over 400 authors, and we were going great guns. I anticipated that the machine would die, talked to the powers that be, Rivka and others, and we decided to start purchasing equipment to replace the machine, which we knew would soon die. So, in August of 2018, we purchased equipment that would replace that machine. It died in August of 2018 completely, and by the 1st of September, we were actually up and running again without much of a hiccup in helping people. It's interesting because this is a service of Sacramento Public Library that is being used amazingly well. In fact, my local area authors and our local area authors extend from Los Angeles to Seattle and right now from Hawaii to Arkansas. We have people from those areas that are using the I Street Press to print and bind their books. One of the things that happened 2 months ago was after a year of printing only in black and white, 7 years of printing only in black and white, we purchased a color printer 8 weeks ago, and our orders have taken off. In the last, just this month, we printed over 650 books. In the last 2 months, we printed well over 1,000 books. We've added over roughly 100 new authors and 100 new titles. So this service of the Sacramento Public Library is amazingly relevant for all of the people here in Sacramento County. People are just flocking to us. When they hear about it, they come, and they're amazed at what they can do. What I try to do is when I meet with someone and talk with them, we want them to walk out with a book. And 95% of the time, our authors, when they come and meet with us, they leave the building with a physical book in their hand, something they've been working on for a long time. So, I have the annual report here. I'll let you read it. If you would like a copy, please talk to Roxana. I will print a copy for you. And oh, by the way, it is in color, which is pretty amazing. Just to let you know, in the last 8 weeks, we have printed, our printer has done over 200,000 copies, not books, physical pages, and most of them have been in color. So we're taking off. Anyway, thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Ward. Are there questions? All right.
Buy some stock in ink.
Yeah. Well, I'm also waiting for the Nexpresso book machine. That would be the next version. I would hope.
Well, it's really expensive, so we would kind of like to stay away from it. So we've actually been able to lower our prices 36% in the last year. So
wow.
People are really flocking.
It's exciting that having this available to folks could inspire folks to more authors, more authors out there.
Yes. They have to write the book. I can't write it for them, but I can certainly print it for them.
Yeah.
And we're doing very well on that.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Jerry, what does the machine cost?
The espresso book machine initially was $186,000.
That was a grant.
Yeah, it was a grant.
I heard all that.
Good clarification.
I heard the story.
Well trained.
In fact, on page V of your handout under the I Street Press, I have the initial costs here. The espresso book machine was $185,055.50. That doesn't count some of the other things that went into it. The new equipment is $37,397. So we are doing better with the new equipment than we were before.
Yeah.
Our expenses are down, our quality is up, our production is up. So like I said, we're going great guns.
Great. Any more questions? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to move on to 3.2 and 3.3, but do we have anybody from?
I have a quick update from the Friends of Sacramento Public Library.
Okay.
Only because we spent almost 3 hours together this morning.
All right.
We're working on the MOU between the Friends Investing in Sacramento Public Library and the library. We're working on behalf of you, so you don't have to sit in those 2.5-hour meetings on an MOU, and we hope to get that resolved in short order and bring it back to the board for approval within the next couple of months. But it's going really well.
Okay.
And we're all optimistic that we're going to come to an agreement that protects the interests of the library and reminds people of the role of the Friends and the Friends Investing as support organizations for the library. So it's great.
Okay, good to hear. Any questions for Rivka on that? All right, we'll move on to 4.0, closed session. Pursuant to Government Code Section 54957 for a meeting pertaining to personnel performance evaluation of the library director. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. So we're doing the other stuff before we go?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's a great idea, actually. Sorry about that. Yes. Let's do that. We'll come back to 4.0 and then as long as everybody's going to stick around.
Yes.
Because that's what happened last time. Okay. If everybody's going to stick around, we'll move to 5.0, Director's Report.
Okay, I will refer you to my written report, but I want to highlight a few things that I think are really important. Sure. For the next several months until early May, you will hear me say, did you know Neil Gaiman is coming to town? Even if you don't think you've heard of him, you have. He's one of the best known living writers today. If you watch TV at all, he just did Good Omens, he's done American Gods, and he has a new series coming out called The Sandman. He also has written award-winning children's books, and we are privileged to host him for the 2020 Arbuthnot Lecture, and we're very excited about it. And more information, we're working on the dates, we're working on sponsorships and partners, but it's actually an amazing opportunity for our community because we know that many libraries across the country applied, but only one received the honor of hosting Neil Gaiman, and that one would be Sacramento Public Library. So
Great.
I want to mention that summer reading is going really well. People have read more than 420,000 books, so we're on track for our goal of 650,000. The North Natomas Library is second in terms of books read, but maybe first in terms of people who've signed up for summer reading. I knew you would be interested in that. But we have some strong contenders, including Elk Grove and, of course, Rancho Cordova. But the most important thing really is that we are also serving lunch at the library, and as of yesterday, we have served 16,600 meals. Unfortunately, there was a water main break at our Rancho Cordova library, and it's closed for a few days while that's being repaired, so that means no lunch. But staff, being who they are in terms of being wonderful, have located alternate lunch sites. And we're very, we're making sure that everybody, that kids get fed. It's really important. That's a lot of meals. We're well on the way to serving 20,000 meals this summer, and we have Saturday lunch service in a number of libraries, so we're pretty thrilled about that. Want to mention a couple of other things, and that is...
Can I stop you before you go?
Sorry?
How's the swimming pool pass program going?
Oh, we'll run out of passes. It's really popular. Kids are loving it, families are loving it, and it's a great incentive to get kids reading. So, and I was at the Martin Luther King Library last week. Jared and Kathy and I were out there for a meeting with city architect and to look at the building. And there were probably 100 people in the library that afternoon, and there were kids in the corner reading to one another aloud. There were kids playing with Legos and Duplos. We had served lunch. There was a program going on in the kids' space. The libraries are very well used.
It's a
right
happening.
now.
It's a real happening there.
It's really
almost every
happening.
night.
It's great, and we're very grateful for those extra hours for the 3 libraries, Colonial Heights, Valley High, North Laguna, and Martin Luther King, because people are making use, and Mondays in the summer become the busiest day for all of them because it's so important. I want to also mention the Digital Inclusion Summit. We'll be coming back to the board. We're hoping to get the authority board to sign off on the coalition, and we started meeting back in January. This is led by one of our librarians, Chris Durr, and we see this as a really important opportunity for making sure that kids are learning what they need to learn, but that our community has access to the tools they need for 21st century living. So there'll be a digital equity plan that's being developed, and our partners include the mayor's office, Valley Vision, and Social Venture Partners on that. So we're pretty excited about that. I'll leave the facilities updates to you, but I want to mention there's quite a lengthy report contained in here about what we're doing about safety. A lot of this was in place before Amber was murdered, but we are being very diligent in what we're trying to do to keep everybody safe. And I brought new copies of the rules of conduct, and we're very proud of them. They're super simple, and they say what they need to say, and we think there's a lot of good stuff in the works, and it helps us with what the system needs to do in the healing process, but it also makes sure that everybody knows we're really working on this. So I'm happy to answer any questions and to invite you all, and I hope Director Slowey will echo this at the end. August 3rd is the grand opening of reopening of the Sylvan Oaks Library after a 7-month closure for a refresh. It's beautiful. It's truly a stunning library, and it shows what you can do when all the partners are working together. The county managed the project, they designed the refresh, our staff worked on it, and it's gorgeous. And I thought Galt was going to be the benchmark for beautiful refreshes. I don't know, Sylvan Oaks looks pretty darn good. I'll take questions if you have them.
Any questions for Rivka? I love how you instill the spirit of competition between us.
A little.
Library updates, reading, okay.
We just got to get water to Rancho Cordova Library, though.
Yes.
So let's not talk about Rancho.
Just a few days.
Yeah, it's
Next
just a few
week.
days. Yeah, I had the
It was
report.
hot anyways, and it was our way to kind of get the water out in the community. So
Yes. Yes.
Creative thinking here.
All right, 6.0, information. We have this 6.1 monthly financial report and the 6.2 monthly treasurer's report. Does anybody have any questions or comments about those? Seeing none, I'll move on to consent calendar on 7.0. If anybody have any questions on 7.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7, I'm open up for public comment. I don't see anybody sign up to speak, so I'll close public comment, and I'll look for a motion. Move consent by Director Ashby and seconded by Director Nguyen. I didn't. Oh, Director Carr. Okay, seconded by Director Carr. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion passes. 8.0 reports, ideas, and questions from any board members. Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and move back to our closed session 4.0. Well, yeah, move it back to our closed session, and then I'll come back and adjourn after. Okay. Do I need to reread 4.0, Jennifer, or are we okay? All right. Thank you. Okay, returning back from closed session, there's nothing to report out, and so we're going to go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 4:08. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Did you sign the
Yes, I did. Jennifer has them.
Thank you. All right, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you so much.
Congrats again.
Yes, yeah, thank you.
Is there a recycle?